No, I'm not.
You know they put a chemical in the pool that turns urine blue.
No. It's an old wives' tale, sweetie. It's an old wives' tale.
Oh my God, you're...
Comedian and writer Tom Sharpling put together a script for Grown Ups 3 because he's always been a big fan of the originals and Sandler's whole Sandler-verse. And with Netflix fully embracing the idea that the Sandler-verse is still going strong, it feels like the perfect time to break down everything we know about Grown Ups 3 and how it could be the ultimate last laugh before the gang finally grows up. So, let's dive in. Despite the low critic scores, Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 have proven to be two of Adam Sandler's biggest box office hits, raking in a combined $529 million worldwide. Not only are they his highest-grossing live-action films, but they also hold the title of his second most successful franchise, right behind Hotel Transylvania. And even more impressively, the Grown Ups movies are still dominating streaming platforms over a decade after their theatrical releases. On Hulu's daily updated movie chart, both films have surged into the top 5, with the original Grown Ups sitting at number 1 and the sequel holding strong at number 4. This resurgence highlights just how much fans still love these movies, even in an era where streaming is king. That said, the most recent news that brings hope for the Sandlerverse and Grown Ups 3. Netflix is making more movies with Adam Sandler, and his production company, Happy Madison Productions, recently extended their deal with the streaming giant for 4 more films. This means that while fans are already excited about Happy Gilmore 2, there's a strong chance that one of these 4 films could finally be Grown Ups 3. Given how well the first 2 films have been performing on Hulu, it wouldn't be surprising if Netflix saw this as a golden opportunity to bring back the beloved group for another round of comedic chaos. The announcement of Happy Gilmore 2 was a major win for fans, proving that Sandler is willing to revisit his iconic characters.
Time to go home there, Ball.
Son of a bitch, Ball. I didn't...
While no story details or release date have been confirmed yet, the mere fact that it's happening suggests that Netflix is open to reviving more of Sandler's greatest hits. Since the 1990s, Sandler has been a household name in comedy, and his ability to keep audiences entertained for decades speaks volumes about his staying power. However, Happy Gilmore 2 isn't the only project he's working on in 2025, and there's another Netflix film that could be just as exciting. Another highly anticipated movie from Sandler is J. Kelly, a coming-of-age film directed by Noah Baumbach. While the exact plot details remain unknown, the film has a star-studded cast, including George Clooney, Laura Dern, Billy Crudup, Riley Keough, Greta Gerwig, and Louis Partridge. Just like Happy Gilmore 2, this film is set for a 2025 Netflix release and could turn out to be one of Sandler's most impressive projects in years. What makes J. Kelly even more intriguing is Sandler's past success with Baumbach. Their previous collaboration, The Meyerowitz Stories, was a critical hit, earning a certified fresh rating of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film showcased Sandler's ability to balance comedy with deeply emotional performances, proving he's much more than just a funny guy. If J. Kelly follows in the same footsteps, it could be another example of Sandler's underrated dramatic talents. Ultimately, both Happy Gilmore 2 and J. Kelly highlight Sandler's ability to switch between comedy and drama effortlessly. His career has been a masterclass in versatility, whether he's delivering goofy humor in films like Billy Madison or giving powerhouse performances in movies like Uncut Gems. His continued success with Netflix further cements his status as one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. With Netflix committed to producing 4 more Sandler movies, Grown Ups 3 is definitely in play. The fact that Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 are dominating Hulu streaming charts more than a decade after their releases only adds to the argument that audiences still love these characters. The original film is currently sitting at number 1, while the sequel is in the top 5, proving that there's still massive demand for another installment. Despite receiving some of Sandler's worst critical scores, the Grown Ups franchise remains his second highest grossing live-action series. If Netflix wants a surefire hit, Grown Ups 3 would be an easy choice. Sandler's influence hasn't waned the slightest. Over the years, he has consistently drawn in audiences across different platforms, from Hulu to Netflix. His recent success with films like Murder Mystery, Hustle, and You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah shows that fans are still eager to watch anything he puts out. With a combination of nostalgia, star power, and streaming dominance, Grown Ups 3 would be an obvious win for Netflix. At this point, it's just a matter of whether Sandler and his longtime co-stars, Kevin James, Chris Rock, David Spade, and Rob Schneider, are ready to reunite for one last laugh. If Grown Ups 3 truly is in the works, it could serve as the perfect send-off for these characters, wrapping up their story while delivering the signature humor that made the first two films so beloved. And with Netflix already embracing the Sandlerverse, it's only a matter of time before we see if Grown Ups 3 will be officially added to his growing slate of projects. With Grown Ups dominating Hulu streaming charts years after its release, it's clear there's still a strong fan base for the franchise. The first two movies may not have been critical darlings, but they were box office hits, and their continued success on streaming proves people still love watching them. If Netflix sees the demand and Sandler is up for another reunion with his comedy crew, Grown Ups 3 could finally happen. One of the biggest reasons Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 worked so well was the cast. The chemistry between Adam Sandler and his longtime friends is what makes these movies so fun, so bringing them all back for a third movie would be a must. Sandler leads the franchise as Lenny Feder, while Salma Hayek as his wife, Roxanne. Of course, we can't forget the rest of the cast. Chris Rock as Kurt, David Spade as Marcus, and Kevin James as Eric. And let's not ignore the fact that Rob Schneider, who sat out Grown Ups 2, could make his return as Rob Hilliard for the third installment. As for what Grown Ups 3 could actually be about, that's still a mystery. The first movie had the childhood friends coming back together for their late basketball coach's funeral, while the second film saw them all settling into life in their hometown. A third film would likely need an excuse to reunite the gang, and there are plenty of possibilities. A vacation getaway, a big family event, or even one of their kids getting married could all be fun setups for another round of classic Grown Ups chaos. Then again, Grown Ups 3 could take a slightly different approach. Given how much time has passed, the story could lean into the idea of the gang actually starting to grow up. Well, at least a little. Maybe they come together to celebrate a milestone like a child's wedding, or in a more bittersweet twist, to say goodbye to one of their own. While Grown Ups has never been about deep storytelling, a third film could still play with the idea of these once immature dads finally stepping into their next phase of life. Either way, the demand is there, the cast is still tight, and with Sandler's ongoing Netflix deal, the chances of Grown Ups 3 happening feel stronger than ever. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay in the loop with all the latest movie and series news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up, because I'll be dropping more updates soon on which Sandlerverse movie Netflix might do next, along with all the latest on your favorite films and series. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.
There's a raft in there?